Alright, now we're gonna start the thing off. Okay, Patti, thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Alright, everybody, we got on this. All right, thank you. Say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In the room. Right, enjoy the show. No, I'm just kidding. Real quick, I don't know if this is in my script or not, but I'm just gonna ask, how many people went to the OEN awards this year? Right? Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. And I got a chance to stay up on stage at the awards, and you know, one of the things I said, and I really believe in, the OEN this year feels really, really good. This is a good group, really good people, really good energy, great entrepreneurs, great service providers, really, really fun people in this group. So thank you all for being here for tonight. Much appreciated. This is the final Pub Talk of 2023. Yeah, obviously. Oh, you were coming to one of the 29th. Canceled. Really, really happy to be back in fresh consulting space. Please make space for new friends. Already did that. Okay. Main slide. Do we have any other OEN board of directors members in attendance this evening? Anybody? Okay.
Just you.
The board is lazy. We get a new board. Okay. No one's here, so don't raise your hands. Second slide. Okay. Well, you got a full thing.
It's a hard one.
John? Hey, while we're waiting for the slide, did anybody else hear that pop tonight?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I heard it from the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah, I was like,
Okay. Well, this next slide is going to be a big thank you to Sport Bite for the delicious nibble this evening. Yeah. Also, a big thank you to Louis Beer, Delfino Fine Wines, Uber Distillers, and Fourth West Whiskey for our December punch, and our friends from Dot Foods and Plant Farm for exciting samples. Please go try them. And get more drinks throughout the evening. Help yourself. Thank you to all the 2023 OEN general sponsors who you can see on this slide. I'm not going to read them all, but they're there. They helped put this on, so big thank you to them. Yeah, no problem. Lastly, big thanks to everyone who is an OEN member. If you enjoy these programs, please consider joining and becoming a member with the QR code on the screen. It's that easy, and it really does go a long way. It's the reason we can keep putting these things on. If you aren't sure if you're a member, follow up with Kara. Riley or Alice, they can all help you, point you in the right direction. We are delighted to have Buckalter as a sponsor for our September, October, and December Pub Talks. Is Ernie here? I haven't seen Ernie.
he's on the list.
Ernie Boots, huh? Sorry, bud. Ernie is a longtime OEN supporter, and he's a great attorney and actually helps quite a few of the entrepreneurs I know. He's a really good attorney. Buckalter. Talk to him. You might not come here again. I could have gone. Thank you once again to our venue host, Fresh Consulting, John, for all his support in 2023. Where'd you go? Would you like to say a few words?
Hey everybody, this is the last one here at
Fresh Consultants Office of 2023. It's been really fun. It's been an honor, actually, which people say that, but I was pictured 2020. We're allowed to go back to offices, and I'm like, yes. And I went here, and I was all by myself. And I began to wonder, are there other people who like making things or doing things? The only people I ever saw were this big on the screen. And we just had all that meeting. And what? So thank you, OEN, for bringing Way Better for everybody, but also especially including me. It's been wonderful having entrepreneurship, sit on these stairs, on those chairs, and standing around randomly. Can't follow the directions. It's been great. Fresh Consulting does a bunch of things. If you really are interested about professional services, they can do that for you. But most of all, supporting the community that matters, and this one matters.
Yeah. We appreciate the support of our session sponsors, KBF. KBF. The meeting in KBF is Peter Buss, and that guy has been involved with OEN forever.
Alex told me tonight that OEN was the very first place where they ever had their teeth and found their first customers.
Aww.
They've been around forever, and they're awesome, and they totally understand entrepreneurship and how to get you all set up. So if you have an idea and you're thinking about taxes and money, it should be Alex is the guy to talk to. He'll point you in the right direction. We're on the 8th slide now for all of you who are keeping track. Newmark is the one representing sponsor to the 2023 PubTalk series. Thank you very much. I'm a Newmark. I do commercial real estate, so I help companies find their office space. As you can imagine, it's been a little bit interesting in my world, to say the least, but nonetheless exciting. So thank you. Okay. Thank you as well to Devon. You can see him right now, but he's from a Portland Fund, and thank you for spearheading our partnership on tonight's event. Okay. Devon's awesome. Get ready. It's gonna be a good night. You guys are great. You guys are great entrepreneurs and a great
Moderator.
thank you. And now on to one of my favorite parts of the Pub Talks. Yes, this actually is our 5-minute pitches. So it's a chance for entrepreneurs to share their business with the community. Tonight we have 3 great company pitches. There's 2 5-minute mini pitches. First up is Michael Ecker with Bisky. Yeah. By the way, I've seen this company pitch before, and this is like one of my favorite ideas. I absolutely love it. Yeah, so here we go. Hello, can you hear me? We're here. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, people of OEN. We are I'm RJ Sweets. This is Mike Wecker. We have a third co-founder named Sebastian Lopez, but he cannot be here because he is from Colombia. We are the platform for accountability within personal leaders. And it's, who doesn't have that friend after, a great round of golf, it just forgets to pay up. And it's a fun and competitive twist on whether it be basketball or anything like that. It's a fun thing to have.
Yep. And so, slides. There we go. We've met some of you guys before. We thought a really fun way to share today would be to take some screen captures from our sandbox. 2 years of going through our happy path and seeing how it actually works. So what you're about to see, it does go fast. I'll narrate. You can hit play, but this is really happening connected to an idea. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to leave the bank. We use Plaid, industry standard household name. They do a great job. And next, what you're going to do is fund your account. So you choose how much you want to put in. All of this is free. Then once you have money in your account, you're free to start sending business. So you find a friend or acquaintance Now these are skill-based wages, so you choose a skill category. They chose soccer. The title here is juggling. The description is up to you if whoever the other person is going to accept, right? So we're not the arbiters of who won. So we're down next. There are timers to keep everything fresh. Choose how much. This is real time, so you saw it pop up here. He says, "Oh, I can take that on." So you hit accept. Money from the both accounts goes onto the table. You can see they're both live now. He says, "Oh, actually, I won." So he claims the win. You can see this score. Oh, he won. Just lost $50. So you can just be Viskies as you want, all for free. You don't take any cuts at that point. But then when you withdraw your winnings, that is when you do take the withdrawal. That's how we monetize. And you get it next. There we go. So, a stable monetization model is something that's pretty important to us. We want to monetize from the very get-go. Where we monetize is once you're able to take the money out of your account into your actual personal income. We take 3% or 5% for instant. And we think at that point you're probably a winner, so you're okay giving a little bit. So,
yeah, there's a lot of early use cases. We do initially we're gonna have a select code, so this is a closed social group. In our virtual meeting, we eventually want to work into the virtual realm. We believe that video gamers, there's a lot of ways that this could go, but initially just closed social for a lot of data testing and data that dive into.
Call of Duty players love to talk shit.
Yeah.
We've come a long ways this year. We're getting very, very close to launch. We've launched a digital product. Those two things. One is that launching is hard. And two is that you might see here that we've only spent 50 grand. Actually, the number's a little higher now. Payroll with this. But the reason for that is we are the agency, right? So all of the people that we contract with are personal contracts. People are paid exactly what they do. And our co-founder is also our tech lead, which is all. So we are looking for more money. So these are convertible notes that we offer about the time. What we're going to go after launch is our product works really well technically. And from there, what we want to do is actually begin to engage with our users' emotion, right? So badges, tracking histories amongst different people, simple things that I think we can use to keep people coming back to the app, as well as graphic marketing and making sure that we have the team momentum up and going. Gratitude, TBD, who knows?
So we're very proud of our team. This is a tech-led project. Again, we have all worked together in the past, and we're excited to keep working together and eventually we are in the missions.
And our next additions here on the bottom are people that we know well who want to work for us on contract, usually a discount. We just can't hire them, but so in the same way that Venmo revolutionized the way people pay each other, we think that this is going to revolutionize the way that we do wages most people. So I think there's a lot of ways that this company can be $1 billion company. We believe that. But what we want to do is partner in this earlier stages with the right people here in our community, maybe in this room, to help us find those success metrics and have the expertise to help us along the way, milestone by milestone. We're done. Thank you.
Yeah.
I bet in $5 they finish on time and 18. Okay, next up from Goddess Moose is Kevin Navarre. Come on.
Hello. My name is Chela. When I was 13 years old, I decided to be vegan in pursuit of optimal health and environmental impact. However, I was not going to give up my passion for desserts. This sparked a quest to perfect treats that were indistinguishable from dairy. friends and family from my small rural hometown fell in love. Inspiration struck when I realized that convenient, nutritious, and uncompromisingly indulgent desserts were missing from grocery store shelves. With grants from Lewis and Clark College, I launched Goddess Moods at farmers markets in the Portland, Vancouver metro. You know how good tasting desserts are bad for you and healthy desserts don't taste good? Goddess Moods is revolutionizing the dessert experience, from an occasional guilty treat to an everyday nutrient-dense indulgence. In a selection pool that competed with dairy, we won Startup CBG's Shelfie Award for Best Dessert. Tofu is our magical ingredient for creaminess akin to dairy and complete protein. We are the first tofu mousse brand to market, and our supplier, Oda Tofu, is located right across the street. We are also the first company in the world to solve for scalable shelf life in fresh desserts without harmful preservatives. Cold pasteurization naturally extends our refrigerated shelf life to 50 days while retaining fresh taste. Wow. Our luxurious maple sweetened flavors win beyond the health conscious consumer, captivating the taste buds of the average American dessert enthusiast. We plan to expand the Goddess brand across the fresh desserts category. Refrigerated desserts are an $8.8 billion growing category primed for disruption. Vegan desserts are $3.2 billion and projected to double over the next decade. Our entry to the market is within single-serve, spoonable fresh desserts. Cozy Shack dominates 90% of the Natural Products Index, while challenger brands such as Patti own 3% market share and are growing 200%. Plant-based puddings on the market don't compete on taste or texture, while outdated and unhealthy category leaders contain artificial additives. We are elevating the nostalgic pudding snack experience with premium quality and functional nourishment. In 2024, we will be certified women-owned and non-GMO. Our proprietary cold pasteurization IP allows us to scale with biodegradable packaging that returns to the earth after consumption. Scaling also improves our supply chain with organic soy. We are growing the right way, with incremental measured tests to optimize our resource expenditure. We've nurtured month-over-month repeat sales growth in current accounts before investing in expansion. We have over 40% gross margins and a path to profitability in 2026. This year, we've tripled our retail velocities and are outperforming adjacent products on shelf. Our new seasons and market of choice buyer has requested Goddess Moods to enter all of their locations. Our next step is co-manufacturing in order to commercialize our extended shelf life and grow our sales. We will drive distribution density regionally in natural and premium conventional before national expansion. Plant-based dairy and HPP technology unlocks new innovation for fresh protein indulgence. Our plan is to become a nationally leading dessert brand across a platform of nutritious and ethically sourced innovation. Our loyal fans are obsessed with Goddess Moods because our products satisfy their cravings for rich decadence without guilt, while fulfilling their aspirations for wellness. I built Goddess Moods to this level, advised by CPG veterans who scale national brands to exit. Our Oregon co-packing partner, Toby's Family Foods, has the equipment, capacity, and operational expertise to Oh, it's actually our plan. Yeah, my goal is like here.
Make sure you know right to the sneaky. Next up, we have Rajiv Harry from Plant Bomb. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rajiv Harry, and I am the founder of Plant Bomb. Plant Bomb is an essential line of plant-based sauces meant to make mealtime easier, fun, healthier. And essentially, Plant Bomb is a compilation of my life work. I spent over 10 years in the culinary industry as a health and wellness coach, in the culinary industry as a chef, and spent over 10 years as a health and wellness coach. I'm extremely passionate about food and how it plays a role in our longevity, disease prevention, and just fuels how we feel, right? This is an astronomical number. I don't mean to feel the mood in the room, but 695,000 people die yearly due to coronary artery disease. It is a serious, serious problem, and it is richly due to the foods that we consume here in America. The foods that are fast, that are at our fingertips, are rich in saturated fats, they're artery clogging, they're rich in preservatives, fillers, additives. And there also is a lack of products on the market that are vegan and plant-based that actually speak to health and longevity. The good news is that a diet rich in whole plant food, rich in dietary fibers, vitamins, and minerals can combat the number one killer in Americans, which is coronary artery disease. And this is where you insert Plant Bomb. Plant Bomb is that vehicle connecting our consumers to eating healthier. We bring deliciousness and all of the health benefits. We are exclusively trying not to have our consumers sacrifice any flavor when it comes to eating healthy. So we want to make it as easy and as flavorful as possible so you don't feel like you're missing anything. 3 sauces, hundreds of possibilities. We're not just another condiment or another dressing company. We're much more than that. We are dip, salad dressing, finishing sauce, marinade. Possibilities really are endless. We want to be healthy and versatile. We want to continue making it easier for our consumers to be connected to eating healthy foods that support their life. And we're not just known for what is our unique explosive flavors, we're also known, and this is our flavor, for what is not in our bottles. No fillers, no processed ingredients, no preservatives, no added sugars, no added seed oil or vegetable oils, which are inflammatory ingredients that can potentially, affect your health. Currently, we're distributed on plantbomb.com. We have a subscribe and save subscription model where we incentivize our consumers to get on a monthly subscription. We have a robust archive of plant-based recipes that pair with sauces that help support your life. We have a weekly blog that drops that speaks to living a healthy lifestyle. We're also currently on Amazon, which is our largest revenue stream to date. We see the opportunity upside in Amazon since there's such a vast database of consumers that we have access to. Although the margins we do see are a little bit lower due to the fees inclusive of performing on the Amazon platform, but we plan to remedy that with actual switch that would make us a lot lighter to ship, lowering our costs. And also, when we start producing at economy of scale, we will be able to lower our cost of goods from that. Some of these things. We are distributed in all 20 New Seasons markets, market of choice, in home goods nationally. In 2024, we plan on having a big year. We plan on dropping a quarterly secret sauce. I can't tell you what it is. Every quarter we'll be dropping new sauce, continue to support our consumers. We will be integrating with food influencers and vegan communities in partnerships with chefs and food delivery brands. We plan on entering the service distribution market. Retail television is on the docket, home shopping network, and that is continuing on this packaging switch. It really is the right place at the right time. I think we saw that number is crazy astronomical. We need to do something about it. We need to get healthier, clean products in people's hands. The plant-based food category is now across 30 different categories in the grocery store. That is showing the demand in this marketplace that we need products that are really supportive of health. Gen Z and millennials make up 47% of the population, and their consumer purchasing habits have shown they continue to spend the money to purchase high quality plant-based ingredients. North American vegan market share for plant-based vegan sausage, condiments, and dressings is growing at a compound annual growth rate of over 10%, and is currently valued at a $250 million industry. And by 2031, it should be almost a $600 million industry, and we see ourselves developing strong roots and being a strong player in this industry. This is actually our 2-year anniversary. We launched no outside investment, only friends and family, loans. Oh my God. As you can see, in 2023, we have over triple the revenue that we did in 2022. Thank you. Oh, both of the founders are raising money. I know they got to that part of the pitch. I'm so sorry. It's all free, right? It's everybody. Well, shit. Hold on your money. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's give another hand for the three. Time for the main event. Let's get Devon, Horace up here, my man. One of the coolest guys I know. Not even leader. All right. There he is. Pretty good.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Devon Horace. I am the principal of Steve Fund. I know everybody knows Devon and all, but Steve is here. And before I get to my hair, of course, to give my props and many thanks to OEN as well as for me for having us here today. Little bit about Steve Fund. We are a different fund here in Portland, Oregon. We invest in Oregon companies, but we kind of dabble out here in another company. So Oregon and Southwest Washington. We typically invest in companies pre to Series A. Sometimes we make an exception for Series B, but again, depending on the situation. We've been investing. We're on fund 4 now. So we're always looking for investment, and we're still looking for investment. I think I heard the pitches, and I got my eye out. So tonight I have the privilege of introducing and hopefully moderating the public talk tonight. I'm going to be introducing great entrepreneurs who have done a tremendous job at growing their company and being a leader within the entrepreneur ecosystem here in Oregon. So first person I'm going to bring out is Maxwell, founder of Chela Media. Next we have Dexter, CEO of OpConnect EV charging station. And then lastly we have Patti, CEO of Hemex Health. And while you all are engaged in the conversation tonight, I just want to go out there that these are all doing the same portfolio.
Okay.
You invest your best. How you guys doing tonight? Everybody's straight. How do you have a mic? Okay, we're gonna share. Sharing is here. All right. So we're gonna ask a few questions here tonight, and I'll start off with the talk for us. Then we get the conversation going. Cool. Everybody ready? Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So best podcast for what? Brandon, let's start with you.
It's going to be my podcast.
Yeah.
Loran, nice.
All right. You heard right, where's the recording?
It's on Spotify and Apple. We did a few test episodes last year. We had 10,000 downloads, so we're gonna keep going.
Okay, I'm glad to be listening. Yeah, Kevin, what about you?
I like Star Talk, Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast, because I'm a geek at heart. And I don't like the sports ones, but I love when we talk about it. I feel like I learn something every time I'm on the exercise bike.
That documentary on black holes left my mind in black holes. So I'll stay away from you. Okay?
I love, things on that, and probably not listen to as many podcasts, but I'm always talking so much of the time, I like to listen to it.
What's your favorite topic?
You know, we really look at a lot of things around entrepreneurship. Typically brings things up to this, we feel like they're out of ideas.
Entrepreneur. Next question. What were some great habits you built this year and what will recommend to others? I would want to start with you.
Well, you know, for me, for a lot of us, we're just transitioning out of COVID time, right? Starting to get back to normal things again. But for me, you know, like one of the things that we keep kind of saying is at least one serious weight lifting session a week. I do a lot of hiking. We do a lot of pellets. That's awesome. And, you know, when you're really frustrated and nothing like it, I like to bring it down.
Mine's kind of business related. I think I got some really good advice this year that the CEO of Remote Sky West at his time. And I actually kind of sat down and thought about where I want to be spending my time every week. And I think I've gotten a lot better at humanity.
Brandon?
Say the question again.
Yeah, so what were some great habits you built this year and what would you recommend for others?
I mean, I think probably the best habit that I incorporated is spending time with my son. Making sure that I don't forget the fact that I still have a kid. And so it's really important. You're really busy when you're running this.
Right.
I work 68 hours a day right now. And so it's really important to me that we spend time together every day. So it's working later for me early. I gotta find that time to spend time with him. And that's really important. So, yeah, I think time is huge as well, right? Like you mentioned time, I'm kind of the same way. I prioritize the family still.
Okay. So how are you navigating the changes in the workplace around remote, hybrid, and in-person working? I mean, workers, they have the needs and demands, and how does the company work through that? Or how do you support that? I want to start with Brandon.
Well, so for us, I mean, we were doing a lot of stuff in remote already because we run a digital media company. For those of you that don't know, I have a digital media company called Chela. We run apps on Android, iOS, Roku. We have a movie that just came out. Movie theaters sold out 70 cities. It's really good. So we do a lot of our meetings. And a lot of people freelance work with stuff already remote. So that really hasn't been too much of an issue. But I would say that I still think it's important to get together and meet people in person and work with them long term. So I think there are certain intangibles to compatibility that are dictated by being in person.
Yeah, I think we really didn't have to change very much over the years, even during COVID, because we were already very remote throughout the history of our company. Our engineering team is almost all of them. I saw somebody just a little bit ago that my lead platform developer, I haven't seen her in person in 5 years. Her husband bought places, got foods there out in the country. She doesn't even come to the office, and I don't make her. Whereas I have other people that say you can work from home if you want. Like, well, I come into the office a couple days a week. So we just kind of gave people the flexibility to do what works for them. But then we have other people. So our company builds charging stations. You can't do that from home. So we have some people that have to come into the office. Depending on what the job is. But if you don't have to be there, give you flexibility to decide what works for you.
So Hemex, we're a medical diagnostics company, so we actually have a hardware, small instrument reviews and also devices.
And we use this as glass, and we use it to find sales services. So when COVID hit, we couldn't just have people work from home. You have to work on hardware, and our engineers to working face to face, and then we testing product that allowed, and then getting blood from people. So we had no challenges to space people out. We need software for getting people. We as a CEO, I didn't have to be here every day. So both of us, we try to work from home and need the space. And people really do it hands on. But one thing I will say about the whole work, we also work a lot with India. We manufacture our product in India, so we have a third of our team is based in India. It's really not the land people in India. And it's hard for us because, there's people that are 13 and a half hours off from, So we really do try to get people now that COVID is over, back together, face to face, working as a team, and that's really a luxury. And we're lucky to do that.
Great answers. Great answers. I'm from remote. One day to go and you go. Sorry, Steve. What regional support system did you rely on this year, if any? I was. What regional support systems did you retain this year, if any?
Yeah, we've been really lucky because we have some great investors in town, like Loran and Ron there, but she wanted to usually get out of that. Look like it's good. For the seed fund, or maybe capital, or maybe not capital. And all those people are really great. They just talk to them. Going through the time that started trying to raise money when we in last fall, and we got a lot of really nice and just kind of nice things, even though we are rest of the far away, what happens in the
Yeah, I guess I'll start with investors, too. So we closed around, this year, and I think we're really lucky to have gotten that done. And, Portland was part of that round, I think that's very much. And, BBC, the American Conference, is also part of that round. And then a really active local, annual investor, Urban Living, is also part of that round. So I think we've gotten great support, from the local investment community. And then, Prosper Portland, has also been really helpful to us, giving us a grant to implement a plan we came up to further improve our workforce diversity, and now hopefully working with us to even expand our office space.
Yeah, I mean, say our investors, let's get that ideas off of them. Feedback. I also maybe their advice would be some of the things they're learning in their companies. And you obviously want to save on the so if you want to come talk to me after, we can find a spot for you too. If you could travel back in time a year ago, what advice would you give yourself? I would probably, I think to some extent it's good that I didn't know as much as I didn't know back then. Because once you know what you know, you realize how stupid it was to do what you're doing. So, I mean, I think I'm very optimistic, kind of bull-headed person in everything that I do. And so, I raised money, we launched the company, but in retrospect, when I meet other entrepreneurs and stuff, and I see how long it took me to raise money, how long it took me to get the app done, get media attention, get subscribers, things like that, I realized how quickly we did it. And I think some of that was though because I didn't realize what it typically is. And so now, I have that in my head that it does take a while to raise money. And so it's good to plan ahead of time and know that it could be 6 or 7 months between when we start that conversation to when the money actually hits the bank account. And so it's just good not to make plans ahead of time, even though I did that early on and it worked out. I wouldn't recommend it.
So my wife and I own a condo in downtown Portland, and we decided to rent it out from the first part of this year as the market soft, and I wish we just dump the thing. So, I wish I could get way back to students and all myself. But also we're developing a new charging station this year, kind of trying to kind of embody all we've learned in the last several years into something new and great. And I would have loved to go back to the beginning of the year and tell myself, spend another month in the upfront planning before you execute it.
Yeah.
Or what they said before, you have time, always takes longer, it's hard to do, it's raising young, it's being plan. And also that a lot of the team members will also be out. I put them up in and want to do this down, so sometimes they're really down, what they're having a time on. Thirdly, some of the things we do.
I do have one more thing to add, but I think it's really useful. Okay, so whenever you're starting a business, you're really new, you always serve investors, they say you have to be passionate about what you do. You really have to be invested in it. And I remember when I used to hear people say that, I would think in my head, like, if you're interested moderately in it, why isn't that enough? Well, I'm really invested in what I do, and I'm very passionate about what I do. And now that I've been doing it for a year and a half, it would not have lasted had I not been passionate about it. Because there's going to be so many ups and downs, and there's going to be so many hurdles, and so many times that where things are just hard. And the only reason you're able to push through it is because you're really passionate about what you're doing. And for me, whether or not it succeeds or fails, I'm going to still be doing the same things because that's all I love to do. It's all I know how to do. So I'm passionate about it. But I definitely would recommend that to anybody in the room. Make sure you're passionate about it to write it out over all the ups and downs, because I think that is what it takes to be successful. And I think that's why investors look for people who are very passionate about the ideas.
Yeah. The other thing I would say, experience is when you're really being pushed beyond your limits, and tougher than you ever thought it could be, that's actually the best way to start. Because if you're passionate, you just can be open to thinking in a new way. You know the new person that you haven't talked to, and you have their idea. I mean, it's just interesting. I wish it didn't work that way.
Yeah, but more resources are not always better. Like I've been forced to think very creatively because I haven't been able to raise quite as much money as I wanted, and it's actually been better because it's forced me to think differently and tackle things in a creative way and be more prudent with the money that I have.
So either you guys are reading my mind, and it's a good energy up here. Because the next question was, what advice would you give contract lawyers just starting? And we heard from Patti and Brandon and Dexter. Would you like to add to that, or what are your thoughts on what advice would you give entrepreneurs just starting?
I hate to just repeat what you said. I kind of have the same experience. We've been undercapitalized throughout the history of the company. And it's really, honestly, I think we're a stronger company because we didn't meet that investment target that I had a couple of years ago. And it made us be more scrappy. And it also made us kind of understand who on the team was going to be more scrappy and was going to be in it for the long haul, and who, frankly, we needed to say goodbye to. And I think that's probably the best piece of advice I can give. It's really difficult when you've gone through the trouble of recruiting someone, or if it's a friend, or someone that you consider a friend, that you bought into the business, and you realize when the chips get down, they're not 100% invested. And the advice I would give is, don't think it's going to get any better, because it's not. You're, just like I wish I dumped that condo when I first started moving out of it. It's better to just realize where you are and just make that difficult decision to let it go.
So with that, on difficult team, how do you keep your team focused during difficult times? How do you start? It's tough because you always have great people that want to do a lot of things, and when you have to do that, it's tough. It's really prioritize. You can only do so much with these people, out, and also really celebrate the things that you accomplish. There's small steps, and I'm doing startups since 1997. You get there by lots of little steps. There's Chela board and teaching and motivated by that, that's kind of true. I totally agree, but it's better to have a few people that don't first see the meeting.
Brandon? No.
I would say, say, what was the question again?
The team focus during difficult times.
I would say setting an example. So I would never ask people who I work with to do anything that I would. And now the catch-22 to that is there's a lot that I'll do. So you have to be willing to kind of match that energy, but I'll work through it and do the same thing with them, and I'll share my time with them to tell them how to get to where they need to be and help them, but they have to be able to be on their side. So
That's it.
I try not to spark orders.
I really love the lead by example, and also let your team see you be vulnerable. I can think of one example that's not business related. I was in the military a long time ago, and at one point I led a recon squad, and we had 2 fire teams, and we were out on this training exercise, and we're out reconning this area, and I reached the point where I had no idea where we were. I was just lost, and once I realized I was lost, I kind of said, "Oh, so what do I do?" Because you kind of taught the weakness of the team and that kind of thing. But I pulled my 2 fire team leaders over, and I knew one of them was a hunter, and I knew he would work. He's out in the woods all the time. He never gets lost. And I said, "Okay, I'm lost, guys. I need you to get me out of this. You take command, I'll take your fire squad, you get us out of here." And I think afterwards, the team seeing me be vulnerable taught me a really valuable lesson to admit when I made a mistake. I think that's important to remember.
And, staying with team here a little bit, you all are CEOs, founders of your company, and your team rely on you to lead them. How do you model good self-care for your team? I know Patty's actually seen Devon over there. We'll start with Brandon. How do you model good self-care for your team?
I don't know if I'm the best at that. I mean, I'm kind of I work a lot, and I like working because work is like my passion. So I live and breathe what I do. I mean, when I have time off, I'm writing. My wife's always like, "I thought you were gonna take some time off." I'm like, "This is my time off. I'm writing here. Like, this is what I enjoy doing." So I don't know. I think I probably could do better at telling people to get a full night's sleep. So I just have to think about that.
Well, you can always join New York here on a trail or something like that.
I'm always playing 110 miles an hour, right? So if I'm not 110 miles an hour this way building a business, I'm like, I'll rob your banks or something. So I mean, like, I have to be one way or the other. And so I love building businesses and working. So maybe that's that.
Man, try not to rob banks, please. What's your thought?
Yeah, I'm not the best at that either, because I work all the time, and my team is just getting emails from me Saturday night, Friday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, whenever. But one of the things I actually started doing this year was blocking out on my calendar. So we use Office 365. Everybody can see my calendar, and I would block out until like 9:30 every Wednesday morning and call it workout. Make the team know it's like, okay, this is the time where I'm going to do a long middle of the week workout. Don't bother. And probably my example of setting aside some time.
Patty?
Yeah, I have to admit, I'm not that great. I do my interest, even your hours of work, but it's tough. Especially when you're about people and I'm a guy. The one thing I do try to do is that people need to take some time off. When you're gonna be smarter, take a break, go do something with your family, take the holidays off. Give them a space. Go out, go out to do something and figure out together. Or
There's a quote that I heard that I think about a lot, and I think it's right on the spot, and I try to. I've been thinking about it a lot recently. The quote is, "If you're not getting 8 hours of sleep a night, you're not as smart as you think you are." Yeah, I think that I think Warren Buffett or somebody said that, and I think about that a lot.
Well, I'll say this, I mean, you guys have built, pretty successful companies and you do quite an amazing job at what you do. And I can see that you guys work hard. So, what do you love or enjoy the most about what you do? That was
Something that changes people's lives. That's why we started this company. We know diagnosing for sickle cell disease, where there's 500,000 people born every year. 90% of them don't get access to tests. So we're highly motivated by the fact that we sold 500,000 tests the last 2 years, and that means we've saved 5,000 people's lives. So we need more motivated.
Yeah, I think I really love the fact that, I feel like what we're doing is making a difference. The world is really waking up and recognizing how critical climate change is. And EVs are certainly no silver bullets to solve it, but, it's part of the solution. And it's just really exciting to be a part of that. And, I really started networking with other founders of color, actually, that are also in clean tech companies. And one of the things I love the most is when we get together and having a support network like that, and being able to pull other people into the network. I did a meeting this morning with a guy that's putting together a $100 million fund to fund clean tech projects to go into low and middle income communities. And he heard about me from somebody else that I was trying to put together a project to put EV charging and microgrids in low income, low moderate income communities. And it's been really good work.
So we recently had a movie with some theaters, and I did much better than we thought. We made a documentary film, and we one of the screens, all the screens had 400 or 500 people. But at all the screens, just seeing all the people that were happy, because our documentary was about kind of the history of Chicano culture, where it came from. We worked with Ford Motor Company, National Archives, and stored all this old footage using AI. And to see these communities across the country, from Tucson to San Francisco, East LA, just so happy to see themselves on the screen, to see this history that means so much to them. And to think that we're building something that people are also invested in as consumers, and it means so much to them, that means a lot. It's pretty cool that that's good.
We're going to be here with you today. So what was your greatest learning lesson this year?
Greatest learning lesson.
This is the wrap up.
I think my greatest learning lesson, was just being patient. You're gonna have a lot of ups and downs, ebbs and flows. You're gonna have times where you feel like you just hit a wall, but you just have to write it out. And I'm a huge proponent of realism. So you just chop at it slowly, prioritize, eventually get through it, sun will shine again, everything will be okay, it's not the end of the world. And so you just recognize that that's part of the journey. And I think if I didn't learn it, I definitely solidified what I thought.
Patti?
Looking at how such really funny is really created Maxwell as one well and seeing happening in other environments. For a company like the Horace, it's not going to be that after the best practice, it's not about Mexico, in Africa or India. And I keep wondering what like out of the climate center go outside and started feeling a lot more successful than not having all these. I should have figured out what earlier than. That's from a lot of people. I'll just do what they say in the evening. Oh, God.
Yeah, I think my biggest learning was also around fundraising this year. I think we got a lot more efficient for this round of how we used our time. In the first round of financing, I almost feel like, it was just begging that you're going back and asking this again and again and again. And I think we got a lot smarter with realizing that we were getting the polite no and just not wasting our time. I think, I wish I kept track of the exact hours and kind of looked at the dollar raised versus hours spent. I think we were a lot more efficient just by realizing after the first meeting that this was a waste of time. Don't call again. Just move on.
So, while we wrap up here, what gives you hope for 2024? Brandon? Yeah, I can't. We'll start with Chief Jackson. What gives you hope for 2024?
I feel like our company's in a really good spot. We've got a really good, solid team. I feel like we kind of know what we're doing. I was telling somebody recently that I felt like we really struggled to go from $200,000 to $1 million. That was just hard. It felt like we weren't going to ever get there, but it was easier to get to 2. And now we either go from 2 to 6, and I feel like we're kind of in the right spot. There's no thing.
So I think we've got a tremendous opportunity in front of us, and next week we've just been selected by the government and millions of tests. We're gonna go from producing 50,000 a month, and having sold under 500,000 tests to doing like 750,000 a month. But everybody's really on board. It's going out, so we just hope we can pull that off, and then we can see it going.
Well, now we're
You're like how optimistic I was about 2024 is like my business, not the state of the world.
Oh, no,
Like we meant just 2024 with the world. Okay, so I'm very optimistic about my business. I'm just optimistic with the state of the world. So yeah, well we have quadrupled our revenue this year. So we grew really fast. And we did hit 600 paid subscribers, and so we're happy with apps, out. We just got 3 distribution offers. So I think that I'm excited because we have shown that the market is there, and I think that we've done enough testing now to where we should prove that that market exists and that there's hunger for the types of stuff that we're service we're providing. So I look forward to next year growing some more, hopefully raising bigger rounds so we can hire more full-time people.
awesome. Well, I want to thank you three for the conversation. It's definitely been a pleasure getting to know you all. Working for Horace fun, and I'm looking forward to the growth, and I'm looking forward to continue helping in any way that I can. Steve, not a Steve for Steve, but we're super excited to be working with you all as well as Angela. And let's do another round of applause. Okay, so we got time for Q&A. I'll do the right. Okay. Okay. Got it. So we have time for Q&A. If you have any questions, we're going to go to what's fine. Raise your hand and we'll just point.
Yes, so a company commented, and I heard this not just from startups, but establishment. These things always take longer than you expect. Eventually, we should get better, right? We should be able to apply judgment and experience and actually predict how long things are going to take. So what's missing? Why can't we do?
I think the question everybody wants to know why we can't be better at predicting how long things will take. And my answer to that would be there's always that X factor, and that X factor is the other people in the equation. You can't force people to do. So usually, for me, I'm almost always ready to get things moving. things done as an entrepreneur, I guess. But you're dependent on other people, and so the most you can do is motivate them and do your best to try to move them forward. But you really can't compel anyone. You don't have to sort of have an act. I mean, of course, I think what I do is I say to myself, I know this is probably going to take 6 to 8 months, but I'm going to try to get it done in 3 to 4 months. So I'm not completely surprised. So in my head, I'm thinking 3 to 4 months, but realistically, I'm not going to be surprised if it takes 6 to 8 months. So maybe there's that.
I think that was a Freakonomics podcast too. That's the same question. But, yeah. At my previous startup, I had a contract software development company, and Boeing Seattle was the biggest customer. And we got to the point where we were a gold rated supplier, 100% on time delivery. And the way I did it was exactly what you suggested, is over time, we learned from the team that when we get together and start planning the project, oh, Chris, he'll always give you an estimate, but it's really gonna take this long. So I would tell Chris that this was the original date, and I would tell Paul, and it's really gonna be. And over the years, we just got really good at it. That's by putting it back.
It's part of the team, right? Because if you set the expectation of there's 12 months, 6, they feel like they failed. Whereas if you actually expected 6 and it does, they succeeded. So you actually have a success that you follow.
And I was always worried though that if I, really move to take 6, if I said, okay, 6 is fine, it would take 8.
Hey, anyone?
I'll just say that, I feel like we have gotten better. Some of the things you can actually learn from, but just by definition, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to be honest. Because we find problems on the front, we don't know how to solve. Like people really try how to do that. We get how to do it. Sometimes you don't know how to do that problems. We have gotten better.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah, so as we've seen with OpenAI, the CEO doesn't really manage the board well. Things can happen. So I'm curious, how do you select the board and how do you make sure that that board has your back?
That's a great question. I have the organization is about this for a lot of years, which is you don't need a big board. You need a smart board. You need a small, especially in the beginning. It was small. I just need board and just board. But you don't manage them, no matter who it is, how you might get out of it, and make sure that you meeting so you will accomplish that. I think just
Yeah, frankly, I don't think that the board is always supposed to have your back. They're certainly not supposed to put a knife in it, but they did the job. So there's this, medium, I think, that you really do want the board to challenge you and ask hard questions. But you don't want these board meetings to just be, yes, that things. But as a small startup, the experience I'm having at least is you kind of don't have a choice about some of these board members. When you take money from the investor, they're going to get a board seat, whether you like them or not, and they're going to speak their mind on the board. You can't get rid of them. And so 40% of my board is investors. So.
It's not the rest of
I like hearing what they said, and I think that that also is why it's important to work with investors who feel like their incentives are a lot. You can work with. I think sometimes people just take whatever money they can get, and I understand that, but I don't know if that's always the best strategy.
Thank you for your question. And in the back, back.
Yeah, so how did changes in your, I guess, how did your target market or changes in the market influence your team structure? And I guess that, how would that reflect your product market fit? What are your team structure?
Yeah, I got that.
And, you know, for us, our market has changed, quite a bit as the EV adoption rate has gone up a lot, and that the deployments have just got huge. We've kind of changed our, idea of what a target customer is, and instead of going after small deployments, we're just gonna take some huge contract for, you know, we got a contract for 1,000, 100 days at one time. Even if it takes years to deploy, that's a better way, to go. And so we have had to make, some changes, in the team. We, you know, hired a business development person where we never had one before. Salespeople were more that, you know, they just want to close a quick sale. And whereas that biz dev person is somebody that's gonna work that long term, you know, contract for, you know, a year and a half if it takes it to bring it home. And then we've had to change our idea of what service delivery is. I mean, these bigger, corporate customers, they demand a little more. And so we had to kind of change our service team. And then we've had to do things like become SOC 2 compliant, which, you know, like, I never thought we'd have to deal with that.
Brandon? I'm not sure I fully understand the question. I mean, is the market impacted our business in
Yeah, so I guess like as you're growing and working with other customers, how did you have to adjust your team so that way does it make your product market better, faster?
adjust our team?
Yes.
Well, so our market is Latinos, right? And we have a growing market, clearly. But I know that, you know, it's really important to have people who I think are from the community and understand it. And I think there's a really big skepticism that already exists in that community because they feel like they've been exploited at different times. They get companies who go in there and they just try to sell products, things like that. So I think it's really important. And one thing we've been very cognizant of is to make sure that you're involving people who are actually from that market, from that community, and you're not just kind of washing in there.
Thank you for your question. Sorry, Patty, you want to answer?
One thing I was going to say, you know, technology companies typically want product development cycles. So you have to expect that things are going to change during that time. That's why I think it's so important for the team to be out there and watch these things out. Kind of know things in the field and feeling responsive.
Any other questions? Alan? My guy.
So, yeah. But being an entrepreneur is just an area that will willing to put down a little validation from the market. Did you ever have a moment where you put out your product and actually like there is a market that's what I'm building?
Repeat the question.
Like where you were uncertain and you put out.
Yeah, your concept's out, but like the original product and figure out this community and the validation factor that actually going forward. Like, is there a moment about that for you?
Yeah, well, I think with our movie, I mean, I think that our movie was going to be what broke us or made us. You know, I mean, it's essentially what we did is we built an app, and then we made a movie, and then we streamed the movie on our own app to build subscribers, and then raise money off those subscribers. And so we cut out all of them. And so it's kind of crazy because I actually don't know anybody who's done that. And so we really weren't sure. We started marketing 6, 7, 8 months ahead of time. So we were building a lot of anticipation. I couldn't afford, for example, a professional video editor because they wanted, it was like $90,000 to 20 terabytes of footage. So I edited the whole movie myself in 3 months. And 90 days, I went to the office every night, 9 o'clock, I did until 3 in the morning, did it 90 days straight. And on the phone. And so I was a little bit nervous by the end of that because I'm like, I'm doing a lot of hype behind this film. I've got investors, we have a trailer, and a lot of trust is being put in me because I'm making this movie. And it totally worked out. And you know, we got picked up by 17 theaters without a distributor. And ended up doing really well. I think that felt very good to have that happen.
Okay.
I think you guys are entrepreneurs to do these kind of things. So you can take the risk, do something that you not want to do, and really have that success happen for you, or have some failures happen along the way. I mean, you have a lot of them, and I think that's the excitement of something like that.
Yeah, I hope this answers your questions. You know, there was, there have been a couple of moments where, we kind of thought we were taking a chance with putting new functionality in our product or rolling out new features, and one of them is around energy management, timing the flow of the chargers, and we were one of the early companies that rolled that out, and initially, we realized no one was using that feature that we spent a whole lot of engineering hours developing, and then we had this new customer that was getting 9 trucks into their delivery business, and it was just weeks before these new trucks were supposed to show up, and the charging stations were being installed, and their electric utility told them, "Oh, you can't do that. If you plug all 9 trucks in, plug all 9 trucks in at one time, you're going to blow a transformer, and so you can't start using your trucks." And this totally screwed up their business model. And we found out about, they told us about this, and we said, "Hey, we have a solution here. Set up a meeting with us in the utility, and we'll show them this cool function that we have in there that's going to let you put those 9 trucks into service in day 1 and avoid spending $30-something thousand on a transformer upgrade." And that was kind of an aha moment, and let us actually go out and start marketing that specific use case.
Thanks for your question. Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed hearing your guys' kind of learning experience and asking for a friend. What would you tell like your early 20-something-year-old self? It gives you like life or career related. I really enjoyed some of the insights you've gleaned so far, but I'd love to learn stuff you'd like. If you could go back in time and tell yourself like what you would say or advice you give.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Patti, you want to start us off? Oh,
First, I guess. I'm a firm believer that I honestly wouldn't change anything about my life. I mean, I wouldn't tell myself anything different because I really think that you are the sum of all your past experiences, good and bad, mistakes, everything that's gone good and bad in your life has brought you to this point. And so I wouldn't fix it. Now, if I were telling a friend, I actually had several failed startups before my first one worked. And the advice I would say is actually gets back to some advice that you heard here earlier is if you're not passionate about it, I mean, if it's not something that just gets you excited and you wake up in the morning and because you dream about the night before you're ready to go the next day, don't start that business. Because the ones that I looked at that actually failed were something that, I heard from someone else that this is going to be really cool. And so I jumped in, but I wasn't invested. So that would be the advice that I would give them.
I love the asking for a friend.
One thing I feel like I have learned is to also decide when you are going to be. That's hard, because you usually start at getting passionate about it. Time when one startup where you start to I realized, do I want to go to the same of the investor for it, platforms, the original investors, and they kind of do this about more sharing. And that's, so I look back and I see something about maybe I should be around earlier. I'm thinking just stuff going on, but we have to decide that for you.
I would say that I know it sounds cliche, but your mental attitude has so much to do with it. If you're okay with failing sometimes and you're okay with that, what it takes, I think you'll be fine. Like failure is a part of the process. And for me, one of my biggest motivators is a lot of people I can build like friends and stuff. I know a lot of guys, depending on how I grew up, I know a lot of guys who are in prison. And so I know some very, very successful, like multi-millionaire fashion companies in LA that came from guys who came out of prison. And I know a guy that just was 30 years ago, and he's running a hugely successful business in LA now. And when you meet guys like that come out with no resources, nothing but mental toughness, and just take no after no after no after no, and drive something home until they build something for themselves, that to me is so motivating. And I meet people all the time like, oh, it's so hard to raise money, it's so hard to do this, it's so hard to do that. I'm like, well, try doing 20 years in prison. A successful fashion company over Instagram is now multi-millions of dollars of no investment. And so that to me is like, it's all about the mindset. And you can overcome anything with the right attitude. You can move forward with the right attitude. Not everybody's gonna have the same opportunities. That sucks. But as long as you can enjoy that process, then you have nothing to lose, right? You know, you live one life, just go out and live it. Give it your best shot. That's all you do.
All right, oh, I'm sorry, I see your hand over there. We're out of time. We got one more.
How can you look at her and say no?
Still here.
Over. The boss is telling them we gotta shut it down, but that's okay, we have. Yeah, we'll be back in 4 weeks, and then also you see any of the entrepreneur panelists here, you can talk to them, social mingling and, give them a great job.
Take questions.
But let's get another round of applause. 4 minutes.
Okay, can we get a round of applause for everybody standing up here? Okay, so thank you, Devon. That was an amazing moderating job. Yeah, we have that in common too. You're getting another round of applause. I have a few things to say, but first I would like Mike to come back out here because Mike is like the driver of PubTalks and he is also quite funny. Before we give him a round of applause for all of his immense support this year, particularly with this program, when we got here tonight, he said, I was a little surprised to see that I was doing all the talking at the beginning. And I said, oh, I got fired. And he goes, I started on the board of directors for OEN. And I said, just from the MC, because everyone knows you are funnier. Which I also have learned from my husband. That's where it really. So thank you to Mike. Round of applause. Really proud of what we've accomplished this year at OEN. The programming has been energetic to say the least. And we have loved having our PubTalks here. So, John, I have a small token of appreciation for you. If you would like to come next. I mentioned once tonight, this is a gift box from Tender Loving Empire, where Bob and sold to support that crew. There are thank yous that are not on here. My antlers are intentional. There's a meme going around on the internet, and Bill Davis fact checked this for me, that male reindeers shed their antlers in the fall, so they do not have them in the winter, and the female reindeers shed their antlers in the spring. So all these years, the sleigh has been pulled by the I can say none of this has happened here without Riley O'Brien. Geez, this is exciting. And somehow this small and mighty team is going to expand PubTalks next year, and we're going to do 11. Okay, are you crazy? But you're not expected to be at all of them. 6 are going to be in Portland at our new home in Trip in Northwest Portland. 5 networking events are going to be around the state. Because we are a statewide board, and I thank you, Alex, for moving on that. We're going to actually leave Portland Metro. Shocking. And then, because it's going to be 11 next year, that means we're going to be back in person at Further Trip on January 10th. So you have 4 weeks to recover from this amazing PubTalk. Come check out a new venue, and we're going to talk founder origin stories, all OEN award winners. And with that, you've got about 9 minutes where you can hang out here. And we thank everyone for your support of OEN.
Yeah.